few weeks ago, fellow YouTuber...
Hey, it's Andrew Huang.
...said that he had got his hands on the most beautiful synth ever. Now, whilst I love the Make Noise people, so it has a beautiful heart, and whilst it is amazingly gorgeous, I don't think he's ever seen one of these. Meet Analogue Solutions, Colussus, a.k.a. Dave. The thing is, this isn't even the most beautiful synth in the world. It's the second most beautiful synth. I'll show you what is the most beautiful synth, not in person, because I would never be allowed to get my hands on one of those. But that'll be at the end of this film, in the contents down below. Let me take you through what Dave is all about. So we have not one, not two, but 12 oscillators, 2 noise generators, a random voltage generator, and a sample and hold thingy. We've got 4 VCAs, doesn't sound like many, but I'll come back to that. 2 LFOs, and again, that doesn't sound like many, but the oscillators have such a wide range that you can actually drive them down to low frequency oscillator speeds. We have 4 envelope shapers, 4 multipolar filters, and 4 LPFs. These are also VCAs. 2 spring reverbs, 2 ring modulators, some slew limiters, don't really know what those are, 2 32-step sequencers that can work in parallel or serial, a 6-track stereo audio mixer, assignable joystick controls, 2 touch keyboard controls, and in this version I paid full price, but they did me a special deal and gave me 2 oscilloscopes for the price of 1. Now you can patch absolutely everything along the patch panel underneath the main panels, but also we have these 2 pin matrices which keep things tidy. So what I thought I'd do is set up a patch to give you an idea of what this thing is made of. How do these things work? Well, first things first, I have to attach my oscilloscopes so we can see what we're doing. I've actually got both attached. We've got the out from the mixer here into this oscilloscope there, and both scopes which can be patched in direct from the pin board here. Now theoretically, all I need to do is put one of the oscillators into the mixer. Presto. Mute, level, pan. But what if we were to put it, say, through one of these filters? Let me put the oscillator into multi-mode filter and then the filter out post amp here. Right, that's not working. Now, I've actually looked at the manual and I suspect that this is something that Tom has all the time when people buy his wonderful things. They go, the filters don't work. They're actual amplifiers as well. You've noticed that we've only got 4 VCAs, but we've got 12 oscillators. Well, all of these filters are VCAs as well, giving us a total of 12. So we need to feed this filter something to open the amp. And in fact, there's a 12-volt feed from the pin board into wherever you want to put it. 12 volts into filter amplifier 1. Hey presto. And let's just check that out. So that's the band filter. This is the high pass. So response is like the cue. And then we've got a low pass. Amazing sound. I've never heard a filter like it. I'm just actually going to create a bit of a filter sweep using one of these LFOs here. So using this LFO here and LFO 1 into filter frequency. So great, got this lovely filter sweep happening now. Great sounding filter, amazing sounding oscillator. Time to switch on the sequencer. So I'm going to just control the pitch. I'll keep the oscillator just going continuously. And let's put this in here. It's currently on stop. I guess this is an external clock in there, but we want to switch it to internal. Right, now I have to tune each one of these steps. Okay, I fancy a bit of reverb, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to route this same filter output to the reverb here, And this is what's great. This is why you don't need loads of mults, because basically any source can go to any destination. Okay, so that's the reverb, and then let's put the reverb out of mixer channel 2. Awesome. So basically, on this mixer here, you've now got a reverb return. Beautiful. So I'm going to plug in oscillator 2 into this filter, and then have this filter coming out into the mixer, channel 2, and a bit of splosh as well. So we've got that, and add in the step CV there as well. Let's just tune that up. So let's patch in another one of these oscillators, but this time I'm going to use it as like a bass tone. So what I'm going to do next is patch a second bass oscillator in. So this will go into the 6th low pass filter here. We'll stick a second 12-volt signal into that, so we've opened the amplifier of that, and let's put that into the next mixer along. Okay, nice and out of tune, so let's tune that up. So it's interesting, these pins, they've got different kind of ratings, and I think that for stuff like CV, I really should stick to red, but I'm feeling adventurous, so I'll stick with black for now. So we've got these, the tuning isn't as tempered with those, which is interesting. I want basically it not to just sustain all the time, so what I'm going to use is the sequencer to gate it. So instead of using this 12-volt signal, let's put the step sequencer, the gate. So what I'm going to do is actually put it into split mode and go to the right-hand step sequencer. And we can see here that that's basically ×4. And that's split, both going at the same time, and I think I can reset them so they're in sync by just doing that. Right, so let's try my first patch on Dave. And just a final note, actually, you'll notice we've got some trailing cables here. This is the sound out. There is an alternative pair of sound outs on the back of the unit as well. I just need to get it all kind of patched into the main studio. So let's have a go. Okay, this is a proper musical instrument, and I'm going to have to learn how to use it, not least the difference between these red and black pins. But for me, what I love about the spirit and the heart behind this synth is that it's truly analog. So the oscillators aren't being controlled by kind of digital servos. There's an imperfection to it. And I think as an audience, we respond to that imperfection. What justifies me getting this is I have a sample company, and I also have this community. So I'm going to sample the bejesus out of this. Am I going to use it as a performance device? Well, it's hardly something you can carry around with you, but I'm very interested to use the sequencer to create synthetic Evo grids, for example. So why don't I today create a sample patch to share with you? And I know what you're thinking. What would those 12 oscillators sound like, all playing the same note? Do some panning. hard, soft, very soft, and switch them all in. Right, let's see what a 12 oscillator doom drone sounds like. Got this tuned version as well, so. Oh, it's a bit floppy down there. Anyway, free for you to download and use on whatever you want from Piano Book, links in the description down below. And I hope you agree that we're going to have a lot of fun and games coming very soon. But as I said before, this isn't the most beautiful synth in the world. This is the Afro Rack Sound Sketch. I don't know if you know about Afro Rack, but something that we do at Spitfire before we even pay ourselves, the very first thing we do is give 1% of our total take away to charities, and Afro Rack is one of those charities. An arts organisation that wants to stimulate and invigorate communities through technology. And the Sound Sketch is something that I will never be able to get my hands on. Only 100 have been made, there will be more being made, but basically they're given to vulnerable children in vulnerable communities to give them an alternate outlook on life. I think that for me as a father, there's something so appealing about modular for kids because it gets them away from that screen and they can lose themselves in the maze of spaghetti they create with these wonderful things. So check out Afro Rack, and if you can, do donate. It really is a charity that's incredibly close to our hearts. Not only is the Sound Sketch the most beautiful synth in the world, it has to have the most beautiful heart too. Thanks as always for watching. To find out more about all of these devices and most of all Afro Rack, check out the links down below. Do subscribe if you haven't done already because we're going to be having a lot of fun with Dave. One of those for Afro Rack, and do ding the bell to be notified the next time I put a video up. See you next time. Bye bye.